Summer routines live or die by how easy they are. And honestly, if something takes too much effort, I'm out. That's why Groons is my go-to. It's my one daily pack of gummies covering my greens, vitamins, and minerals. Plus, it has 6 grams of prebiotic fiber, which is more than 2 cups of broccoli. No mixing powders, no giant pills, no hassle. I just rip open the pack and I'm done. They taste good and they make it easy to stay on top of my health, even when life gets busy. Save up to 52% with the code PODCAST at Groons.co. That's code PODCAST at GRUNS.co.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Dawn of Sports. Of course, this is Dawn Mitchell, and today my guest is Elle Hartje. And Elle's dad is an Anoka native, but even more important, even though her dad played in the AHL, played for Harvard, move over, Dad. Elle Hartje was just drafted in the PWHL draft by New York, first pick in the 5th round, and graduated from Yale. So, Todd, move over. Elle, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. So excited.
I think it's so cool, first of all, when for years and years, as I've been covering sports, and I've been in it long enough now that I'm covering the sons of the men that played either in the NHL, the NFL, now to actually say, I am covering a daughter that has been drafted into a professional league. Now, it's cool for me, and I'm not even the daughter. How cool has it been for your family when that happened?
It's awesome. I grew up in a household, 2 girls, 2 boys. So growing up, there wasn't much to look up to other than the NHL. And obviously my dad had played pro and I had brothers who played hockey. And I feel like that's kind of every little kid's dream, but kind of unrealistic when you're a little girl. So it's been pretty surreal, pretty awesome. I'm the only one left in the Hartje family playing hockey. So that's kind of fun. I get kind of all of the attention hockey wise and I love it since we were always running around when we were kids and sometimes I would be like, why is no one at my games? So everyone's super excited for me and ready to watch this chapter, and I couldn't be more excited to get started.
You were never the last one left at a rink or something waiting for the pickup, were you?
Oh, please. I know that you know my dad, but there has been a time or two where we were just left there. Like we weren't the last ones.
Stop.
He just forgot us at the rink.
That is hilarious.
We were there for hours, and I think like maybe he would get his wires crossed. This was before we had phones. I think every kid now has one, but oh yeah, we were rink rats though, so we knew we would get picked up eventually.
Yeah, they'll do the roll call at home. Like, who are we missing? Oh my gosh, where's Elle? Oh no, we gotta go back to the rink and get her.
I would just be there still tooling around on my like rollerblade sneakers. I don't know if those are still a thing, but they were my favorite. So those kept me occupied.
Did yours light up? Did they blink and light up?
Oh, yeah.
You had the cool ones, those roller skate sneakers.
Nothing but the best.
You were also the star of the mall, I'm sure, right? Skating through like that.
Well, I don't even know if I could use those anymore, but yeah.
Oh, I know. They might like curtail it because you're going so fast. Like, she's professional now, people. Move over. There's got to be a lane for her at the mall.
Could you imagine? It's like Elle Hartje like rolls her ankle rollerblading in the mall.
Yeah, you're on the injured list and your coach gets mad at you could you leave those kids things at home, please?
Yeah, I would have to come up with something else to tell everyone.
Well, I wanted to ask you, I obviously have never been drafted to a professional team, and I always love to get people's reactions. So you're waiting, right? You came here to Minnesota. You're waiting to hear your name called. You don't know where you're going. Can you take us through A, how your nerves were, and then B, how it was to hear your name?
Yeah, so I don't know if I scammed the system a little bit, or maybe other people realized this too, but the camera crew found out the picks before we did and would like find the person in the crowd. So on the topic of hearing my name called, I kind of already knew. So I was able to like put my lip gloss on before I got called.
That's the best. Lip gloss, by the way, for anyone listening, is very important before your camera's going to be on you. You always have to have lips on, right?
It is. Like, you don't want your lips to be dry. You want them ready. No. And I knew there was going to be interviews, and I just wanted my lip gloss on. So I knew it was coming like 10 seconds before it did, but still, it was a lot of anticipation, not only that day, but leading up to that day. We found out the date of the draft obviously far before the actual day. And so it was sort of just a countdown to that to find out where we were going, what we were gonna be doing. All my friends outside of hockey were asking me, "Oh, where are you going next year?" Because that's the main question you get asked out of college, and I just had
Right.
no idea. So there was a lot of anticipation, definitely some nerves, but I was kind of just trying to enjoy being there because it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. I'm not going to get drafted again. It was a one and done deal. So I was more so just trying to enjoy it. And the girls' hockey community is pretty tight knit. And so there was a lot of friends there, and my family's from Minnesota. So it was pretty awesome. But it was still nice to hear my name called and kind of take that deep breath and, finally know what was going on.
Oh, and no slouch, right? You're going to New York. Now I know they had a tough season last year, but that means, hey, they're going to use women and have playing time, right? Like even if you're a rookie, you can come in there and like make some noise. But when you strutted, and I say that in a good way because I saw the video when you strutted up there, and people should know, and no booze for any Minnesotan people, but a Detroit Lions swanky. Like as my friends say, the drip was real. Your Detroit Lions jacket was amazing, and let me tell you, standout. Even people from Minnesota were like, that was cool. Like, whose idea was that? And take us through the swanky walk up to get your jersey and all that.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you. I appreciate it. Some thought did go into it, so I'm happy it was a hit. I would say the credit goes to I was definitely involved. I wasn't going to wear anything I didn't want to wear, but my sister, it's her jacket. We went to the basement and kind of looked at the vintage stuff she has. She's a big vintage thrift store, one of a kind finds girl, so I knew that I kind of
Wow.
wanted to go into her closet for the day. And I
Yeah.
kind of wanted to bring some of my own personality to the draft, and sort of represent where I'm from. And there wasn't really any Michigan representation there, which is odd because a lot of great hockey players do come out of Michigan, but I guess it's just the way that the year went. But yeah, so I had actually ordered like a bunch of different things using like an inspo board, mood board type thing, and nothing panned out. It just wasn't me. I was kind of trying too hard with it. And
Right.
so like 3 days before the draft, I was like, all right, let's go to like our closets and what we already have and what we know we love. And the minute I saw that in her closet, I was like, I have to wear it. It's so sick. My mom actually bought it for Sasha, so she gets some creds too.
All
So
right,
yeah, it was a
Nikki.
collaborative effort, but I was the model for it, so I got all the credit.
Well, and I'm glad you brought up that word because the first thing I said is, oh my gosh, she looks like a model. First of all, both you, Sasha, and your mom could all be models, first of all.
Oh,
Lucky
well, thank
genes
you.
in that family. But I was like, the shorts, the jacket. Don't worry for anyone who's listening. When I post this online, I will post that picture. This will be when I post it with the link, the picture will be on there so you'll all know what I'm talking about. But it was an awesome look. And I had some friends of mine because the hockey community, especially so for women here in Minnesota, and if they hear that, your family's from here, even though you live in Detroit, they like, you're one of us, right? That's what they say. You're
Mm-hmm.
one of us. They're like, hey, did you see that woman that was wearing the Detroit? I'm like, yes, as a matter of fact, I knew her parents very well. And they're like, what? Where did she get it? Like, I work with a guy, Ron Johnson, former NFL player. He's from Detroit. And I can't wait to show that picture because he'll be like, I need to know who made that. I need to get one too. And so he loves his native Detroit. So
Mm-hmm.
there were people that were talking. So you did very well, my friend.
Well, thank you. I just love the idea of the walk-ins and the draft and being able to kind of bring your own style to the sport. I like loved watching the walk-in videos last year from all the girls in the league and seeing how they were kind of individualized and unique. I think in college it's a little bit more not
You wear the
unique.
team on the
I'm
back.
blanking.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you got to wear the black dress pants. There's kind of more rules around it. And I just love that this year I'm going to get to play around with fashion. And when you're on the ice too, obviously, you're wearing your gear. Like, there's not much
Right.
wiggle room there. So I'm really excited I was excited for the draft, and I'm also excited for the walk ins to see what I can
You
do.
know, I do love that. I love that in men's sports now that they can express themselves and you get the walk-ins and the WNBA, or as they just say, the W now. They get to do that too. And you get that freedom of expression. Like you said, you can play around with fashion, but nothing spoke to you until you found this outfit. Like you said, I'm not going to wear anything that's not me that I didn't like, but you didn't want to try too hard. So now you can just have fun with it, right? In addition
Yeah,
to playing the hockey.
exactly. I think it took me a second to realize, like, wait, I don't have to try too hard or do too much with it. Like, I love my style. I'm 23 at this point. You kind of get a feel for what you like, and there's no reason to try and be someone else. So you can really see people's personalities through what they're wearing. And I was happy with what we landed on.
Ready for a women forward car dealership? Rudy Luther Toyota empowers their many women on staff in sales, management, and service. Whether you are looking for a new Toyota or pre-owned vehicle, Rudy Luther Toyota has something for everyone. Every vehicle comes with a Luther Advantage. 10 cents off fuel and car wash discounts at holiday stations, Luther Advantage warranty, and 5-day return policy on pre-owned vehicles. Located just 5 minutes west of downtown Minneapolis, off 394 and General Mills Boulevard. And they're also hiring. Want to join the team but don't know where to start? Visit rudyluthertoyota.com today.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I want to go back and tell people, like, you come from a very athletic family. So your dad, Todd, I mentioned off the top, played at Harvard, the national team of 1989. I met your dad when he was with the Providence Bruins when he played in the AHL, but he also went over to Russia and wrote a book called From Behind the Red Line, a North American hockey player in Russia. And this was when the Cold War was still on, and they had a lot of Russians were defecting at the time. And I remember Mike Smith, his whole lodge, he was the GM of the first foray into the Winnipeg Jets. He was like, I need to send a goodwill person over there. So yeah, let's send the guy from Harvard. Let's send Todd over there. And Todd kept notes,
Lucky
wrote a
him.
book. Right? I was
Yeah.
like just reading that experience when I first met your dad, and then meeting your mom, who was captain of the tennis team at Harvard. So no slouch, Nikki Raval Hartje herself. I was just like, oh, I can't wait for this couple to have kids. And all of you, there's Jackson, yourself, Sasha, your sister, and Clay. You're all tearing it up in Detroit and Michigan. And I have friends that are out there like, oh my gosh, this family is like, I'm like, I am not surprised. Like mom and dad genes combined. How for you has it been, first of all, listening to stories from your parents, but also like really having the support of brothers and sisters that know how to play different sports at high levels? That house must have been competitive.
You have no idea what happens behind closed doors. I think we're all the better for it, but it's a competition to know who the most competitive is. Like everything is a competition. But as we grew up, I think that competition sort of transformed into such an amazing support system. We stopped competing with each other, and then obviously we're competing out in the world. And to have a support system that all knew kind of the mental and physical that it took to be an elite athlete was invaluable. And I definitely would not be where I am today without it. Obviously, starting from a young age with my parents and then growing up with everyone playing so many sports and being in so many competitions, it's been really useful. I can't imagine not having that to fall back on, because any athlete knows you're going to have good days and you're going to have bad days. And it's dealing with the bad days that's the most important to raising your level. And luckily for me, I have older siblings and parents who had to go through it before me and have learned and failed and grown, and I was able to learn from them and get advice from them. And I think the most important thing for me was sort of accepting the advice. I think when you're younger, you think you can do it all yourself and know what's best, and with maturity and age comes knowing that other people really can help you, and I'm lucky to have that right under my roof.
Absolutely. You know, when I started doing this podcast, one of my main things was I want to celebrate strong women, especially so in sports, but without the exclusion of men. So many times it's
Hmm.
like, men are dogs or this and that. And I'm like, no, I had four brothers. I didn't have any sisters.
Hmm.
And all the men in my life growing up were amazing. And I learned so much from my brothers and playing sports and competing against them, like you said, in the household growing up, and
Hmm.
then having that support going out into the world. So let's start first with your brothers about having the brothers that really support you and kind of help you become the woman that you are today. How was that for you to have both your brothers be like that?
So my older brother is a 1996, and I'm a 2001. So he's a good bit older than me, about 5 years. And I think when you're younger, it seems even bigger.
It
So
does,
I
doesn't it? He's so
always looked up
old,
to him.
right?
Yes, I'm like, oh my God, this guy, he's in high school. Like, and I would be in middle school.
Right.
So I was always able to look up to him as a role model. Obviously, my dad is amazing, but he wasn't
Mm,
in the thick of it while I was growing up. And that was sort
right.
of Jake, my older brother, for me, was being able to watch him compete at a high level before I was sort of there. Um, and he is just wise beyond his years, supports us so much. And he watched all of my games in college, like watches everything, texts me. Like I can sort of have those deep conversations with him just by the nature of him being older and us growing up together. So Jake has been huge. He also went to Harvard, so he even understood the school aspect of being a student athlete. I went to Yale, so diverged a little
Hmm.
bit, but he knew the Ivy, the demands placed on you as a student athlete there, and was really able to resonate with what I was going through and had already been through it. So I leaned on him super heavily. And then my younger brother, Clay, is just the best. He always brightens all of our days. That's like sort of his role in our lives. Like he is never in a bad mood, can always make me laugh if I'm home and I'm tired. Um, and I think that his role was more so I wanted to be a role model for him. And it helped
Yeah.
me sort of take on what Jake's role was for me as me to Clay. So I'm really lucky to be a middle sibling. I love it. I don't know how other people feel about it, but it's treated me right.
I'm the middle of five kids. So I had two older brothers, two younger brothers. And then when I decided to stay 28, I had two twin brothers for about a year. And then now I've now I'm the baby of the family, but I do get it because you get both sides of that, the being encouraged and then being the encourager. And
Hmm.
it comes full circle. So now on the flip side of that, your mom, smart as a whip, lawyer,
Hmm.
also athletic. You have your sister Sasha in sports as well. To have strong women, because you
Hmm.
also need that to give you that advice, and that it's just the support. I always say for someone to be like, you're allowed to be strong. You're allowed to have an
Hmm.
opinion. You're allowed to voice it. You're allowed to be athletic. How was that freedom for you?
Yeah, we were encouraged to do whatever we wanted to do and say whatever we wanted to say and be a tomboy and pursue our dreams. And I think, especially from my mom's side, and I will say, family is always going to be there for you, and they're the most loyal and the most supportive of anybody. And so it's really important to lean on them. Like I've said, I just really want to harp on that. Like, no one else is going to be in your corner like they are. And that's just so true, especially for my mom and my sister. The three of us are unbelievably close, talk all the time. And obviously, we're all women in sports, and so that's a unique experience in and of itself. And so, starting from my mom, I think her biggest thing was just chase your dreams and don't worry about any of the other stuff. And so, her encouragement to just do what I wanted to do and, pursue this PWHL thing instead of maybe being pressured to go to New York, into Wall Street, or whatever it may be, go to law school. She was like, ride out your dreams, and is just so supportive of anything any of her kids want to do, and loyal and there to help in whatever we need. Now, my
Well, you are going to
sister,
New York, right? You are going to New
yes,
York. So there,
I
you don't have to go to
actually
Wall
am.
Street.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yes.
And your
And
sister
I
is
get to
great
be
too, right?
around all my friends who are going to be grinding until like 1 a.m. on Wall Street, and I get to play hockey. So I'm just so lucky.
That's right.
And then my sister, I think it's appropriate to end with her because she really is my best friend and biggest supporter. And growing up, I think you sometimes we're 2 years apart. And so, we butted heads. There was like clothes borrowing that didn't always go over well, and little petty fights that I think anybody with a sister can resonate with. But then you hit a point where it's like, wait, this is a built-in best friend. This is awesome. We live together. We're family. We're never going to be apart. Like, this is great. I don't even have to look any further. And so once we got there, we're really in a sweet spot where we both support each other and love to hang out. And it's not always centered around sports. Like, we might just go for a walk and listen to our favorite podcasts and just vibe out together. And having that centering presence is really important to me and helped me, especially in college. I think collegiate athletics is so tough mentally. And so just to sort of step outside of that, and maybe I would talk to Sasha about it, but maybe we would just call for 3 hours and talk about nothing and get my mind off of it. And that was really important for me. And she also, big shout out, came to so many of my games, and I loved having her there. And she wore all the Yale swag, and her style is unreal. So if you see any good outfits next year, a lot of it might be coming from her.
I wish I had an older sister in that regard,
I know.
It was just me for the fashion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when I was a kid, my hand-me-downs, you look at pictures, they were blue. Like, all right, yeah. Oh, well, two brothers, okay.
Well, that's trendy right now, wearing the baggy, sort of manlier clothes. It's very trendy.
See, I was ahead of my time.
So you were just ahead of the game.
That's right. And did your sister go to Europe with you? You just got back from an awesome trip.
Yes, it was. So we're huge on family. It was me, my sister, and then we were with my mom's sister's family. So my aunt and her kids. Yes. And then we split off, and it was just me, my sister, and one of my cousins. And we went to the Amalfi Coast and Rome, the three of us. And so, it's like the three blind mice, the blind leading the blind sometimes, but it was so much fun.
Oh, no, that's perfect. Oh, good for you. Like a way to celebrate that you're going pro, you finished college. Congratulations too. Not to be kind of skipped over in the process, graduating from Yale. Congrats on that. But what a way to kind of put that punctuation mark on before you come back and, like you said, go to camp, start grinding and get into the flow of being a pro. But so good for you. Congrats.
Thank you. Yes. I think taking a step away is so important because, you work really hard when you're in season, and then ramping up to season in the off season, like you're in the gym all the time. And I think it's just important to take a second and really appreciate what you have and just step back and reset and then get ready to go again. So it was great.
And I'm just going to skim over this because when I went to Boston College and when we played sports, sorry, Cornell, for spoiling a lot of times for us. Can we just say big red boo? And all my friends that went to Cornell, I have some, don't come at me, but the Ivy League title for you guys, so close at Yale, right? So close.
Yes, we got it my junior year. Luckily.
Yes. So and you wanted it again.
And we did want it again, and we had it in our hands, and it was on our ice, and we unfortunately had a lot of championship games where we weren't the one celebrating on our ice, which is kind of brutal. There was too many teams celebrating on our ice, but we were hosting. Yeah. Yeah. I'm scarred, but
you can say, nah, we won it the year before, but still, you did.
I know.
You
Well,
really
we
did.
actually
So
won
nothing to
at
hang your
Cornell
hats about.
the year before and celebrated on their ice. Yeah.
So payback
sort of
kind of was a little harsh. Yeah, that's. I gotcha.
Yeah,
Well, we're looking forward now.
it's just
New
crazy.
York,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Looking forward. That's just an amazing thing for you. Has it sunk in yet that you're going to be, hopefully we'll know names soon, but PWHL New York, but that you're going to be playing pro, and you'll be playing with Alex Carpenter, who went to Boston College. So that's why I throw it out, my alma mater. And I'm sure you're reunited with an old teammate of yours, aren't you? Do you have an old teammate that's on New York or not? I'm not sure. I thought I heard that somewhere.
My old captain, Claire, is on Montreal. So she's our Yale
okay. So she was drafted too. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
She was drafted. So she was in the inaugural season.
Gotcha. And so Yale's kind of proud now then, right? We've got a pipeline to the pros.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
That's awesome.
I
Oh,
hope
so
it helps with
when
recruiting.
is
Everybody
camp?
go to Yale.
Everybody go to Yale if you want to go professional.
Yes.
Play Yale women's hockey. People at Minnesota, don't listen to this podcast right now. You can just fast forward. So when do you go to camp, or what is the timeline for you? Do you have a little bit of time to still relax at home with the family before you have to move out there? I know it's not until fall around then, but what's your timeline?
Yeah. So PWHL camps aren't until mid-November. So we actually have quite a bit of time until those. We have a quick USA National Festival in Lake Placid coming up here August 4th. So that's sort of the first thing on the radar. That's a little over a week. Sort of just
That's
getting a lot of
huge.
us together to, reinvigorate ourselves, get ready to train again for camp, which is then in November. So quite a bit of time actually until I'm going to be in New York. So on the question of if it's sunk in training wise. Like I recognize how important the summer is to get my body physically ready for the physicality and pace of the league. So that part of my mental state has definitely sunk in. But like actually getting to the games and feeling the atmosphere and getting to be a part of this league that I watched now for a year hasn't necessarily sunk in because it's kind of a far ways away.
Right. But you know what? You're in, as I always say, don't fast forward time if you don't have to. Right. And I know it's really
Enjoy the
trendy to say,
process.
exactly. It's trendy to say live in the moment. But I always say, like, devour the moment. Like, seriously, devour the moment, like be in it and enjoy it because, and I hate when people say, well, this will never happen again. I'm like, how about I'm enjoying it now and better stuff is even ahead.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
I love that. I need to talk to you more.
Yeah, there we go. All right. Well, you got my phone number. So girl, we're back and forth. Just devour the moment. I am so excited for you. I'm so happy you took this time to talk with us today. You have someone in your corner here. As I've always been in the Hartje corner anyway. But I'm so excited for this next step. And I'm really happy that you have time just to relax and enjoy and devour the moment because you have earned it and deserved it. You have earned it and deserved it.
I'm going to quote that and put it on
there
my
you
mirror
go.
next to all my other things.
There you go. Devour the moment and better things are ahead. So, Elle Hartje, thank you so much. I'm going to have to put the little Google alerts now on for PWHL New York on my phone and follow everything. But hopefully I'll see you beforehand. Hopefully I'll be out in Detroit and see your family. So thank you so much for joining the podcast and just the best of luck going forward. And I'm looking forward to those fashions.
Well, thank you so much for having me. Yes, if you're in New York, please, please, please let me know. I would love to meet you in person.
Oh, in person rather than, when I have like baby pictures. So that's all right. All right, Elle, thank you so much. Have a great day and say hi to the family for me.
Alrighty, will do. Thank you.